The city pulsed with tension. The air was thick, charged with the unnatural energy that had begun to seep into its very foundation. Anonimiz Cherry stood at the edge of a crumbling rooftop, his greenish-blue snake chai flickering around his purple aura, coiling and uncoiling like a serpent preparing to strike. Down below, the streets were shifting, buildings bending at odd angles, lights flickering, shadows stretching in impossible ways. Reality itself was warped, bent at the will of one man. Twilight Zone Rap. The leader of the evil rap family stood in the center of a distorted street, his dark cloak billowing, his eyes glowing with an eerie, flickering light like static on an old TV screen. The very space around him twisted as if he couldn't decide whether it wanted to exist or fade into the abyss. Anonymous leapt from the rooftop, landing on the cracked pavement below. The city groaned as if it were alive, warping with every step Twilight Zone Rap took. So, he finally decided to show up. You really think your snake chai means anything in my domain? Anonymous rolled his shoulders, feeling the venom pulsing through his body, sharpening his instincts. I don't think. I know. Twilight Zone. Rap smirked. The street around them suddenly stretched, warped, and then everything shattered. Anonymous blinked. The city was gone. He now stood in a black and white void, the world around him looking like an old television show, grainy, flickering, unnatural. The sky had no stars, only a swirling mass of dark clouds that spun like a vortex above. Welcome to my reality, Anonimiz. In here, time doesn't work the way you think it does. Neither do your powers. Anonimiz clenched his fists, his snake venom form flaring around him. He wouldn't let this illusion shake him. Suddenly, the ground beneath him collapsed, or rather, it turned into liquid, swallowing him whole. He fell. For what felt like eternity, he plummeted through the void, past fragmented images of himself, versions of him from different timelines, different choices, different fates. He saw a version of himself who never joined the rap tribe, another who had lost the battle for the city, and one who was part of the evil rap family. The visions threatened to consume him. None of these futures are real. Anonymous roared, forcing his snake chai to surge outward. His greenish-blue aura lashed out like striking vipers, shattering the illusions around him. He landed, his feet hitting solid ground once more. The black and white void cracked like broken glass. Twilight Zone Rap stood before him, arms crossed, his expression unreadable. Impressive. Most people lose themselves in the zone before they even get this far. I'm not most people. Twilight Zone Rap snapped his fingers. The sky cracked and suddenly a dozen versions of Twilight Zone Rap appeared, each flickering in and out of existence, their movements erratic and unpredictable. And let's see if you can survive this. The illusion struck first, coming from all angles. Anonymous twisted his body, dodging unnatural attacks that seemed to appear from nowhere. His snake venom form pulsed, his instincts guiding him as he countered. But something was off. Every time he landed a hit, the illusion broke apart, only to reform somewhere else. Anonymous narrowed his eyes. This wasn't a normal fight. Twilight Zone Rap wasn't fighting with strength. He was warping reality, bending time, making it impossible to land a decisive blow. His mind raced. If the illusions weren't real, then what was? Anonymous closed his eyes, letting his chi flow. Instead of reacting, he felt. He listened. And then he found it. A heartbeat. A real presence. Gotcha. His eyes snapped open, and with a single motion, he flicked his fingers, sending a venomous energy pulse outward. The pulse ignored the illusions, passing through them like mist until it hit something solid. A distorted cough came from the right. Anonymous moved instantly, crossing the space in a flash and driving his fist straight into the real Twilight Zone Rap's chest. Reality snapped back into place. The illusion shattered like glass. The black and white void dissolved. The city streets returned to normal, almost. Twilight Zone Rap staggered backward, clutching his chest, his eyes burning with frustration. You shouldn't have been able to. Your illusions don't work on me anymore. You might be able to twist reality, but I see through the lie. Twilight Zone Rap growled. The city flickered, still unstable. This wasn't over. Now get out of my city. The city's energy had been shifting. Something darker, heavier, pulsing beneath the streets like a growing infection. Anonimiz Cherry could feel it, the venom in his chi tingling with warning. He stood on the rooftop of an abandoned music hall, looking down at the empty streets. The rap tribe had been reclaiming the city piece by piece, but the evil rap family was adapting, becoming stronger. And tonight, he was about to find out why. A black pillar of flame erupted from the center of the city, its heat unnatural, its chi twisted. Anonymous narrowed his eyes. That ain't normal fire. And then he saw him, Dark Ember Rap, standing at the heart of the inferno, his body wrapped in swirling black and red energy, his hands raised as if conducting a ritual. Around him, members of the evil rap family knelt in a circle, their own chi shifting, growing thicker, darker, more volatile. They weren't just training, they were evolving. Anonymous gritted his teeth. If this power-up ritual succeeded, the rap tribe would be completely outmatched. He couldn't let that happen. He had to stop it. Anonymous descended like a strike of lightning, landing just outside the ritual's perimeter. The air crackled with raw, unstable chi, and for the first time in a long while, he felt pressure, not just from the heat of the flames, but from the weight of something deeper, something ancient. Dark Ember Rap slowly turned, his eyes glowing red hot, a smirk playing on his lips. "You're just in time, Anonymous," he said, his voice carrying a deep, echoing tone, as if layered with something beyond him. The members of the evil rap family slowly stood, their auras pulsing with this new energy, their eyes void of emotion. They had already changed. "What the hell did you do?" Anonymous demanded. Dark Ember Rap laughed. Fire around and twisting into shapes. Serpents, skulls, screaming faces of the fallen. "I found a way to take our chi beyond limits. You rap tribe fools train for balance, for control. But we embrace chaos." Anonymiz's instinct screamed. This wasn't just an increase in power, this was corruption taking form, and he wasn't sure if he could withstand it. Dark Ember Rap struck first. A wave of black fire exploded toward Anonymous, the heat burning the air itself. He barely dodged, rolling to the side as the flame devoured the ground he once stood on. He countered, lashing out with a venomous energy strike, his snake chi forming into a coiling serpent. But the moment it touched Dark Ember Rap's new energy, it disintegrated. Anonymous's eyes widened. His chi wasn't connected. "Too slow," Dark Ember Rap taunted. Anonymous barely saw the attack coming. A flaming fist slammed into his chest, sending him crashing through a building, debris flying everywhere. He coughed, his vision blurring, his body screaming in protest. The evil rap family's chi had changed too much. They weren't just stronger, they were on a whole different level. He wasn't winning this fight. Anonimiz struggled to his feet, but his body felt heavy, slow. Dark Ember Rap wasn't even-winded. Face it, this is the end of your journey. You can't evolve fast enough to keep up with us anymore, Dark Ember Rap declared. Anonymiz's mind raced. He had trained. He had pushed himself to new limits, but it wasn't enough. The time chamber, the snake venom form, all of it. He was still outclassed. He dropped to one knee, gasping for breath. Was this really it? The flames around him grew taller, hotter, suffocating, and Dark Ember Rap raised his hand for the final blow. Burn, Dark Ember Rap commanded. The world slowed. For a moment, Anonimiz felt nothing. Then, a pulse. Something deep inside him awoke. No, not yet, Anonimiz whispered defiantly. The air shifted. Dark Ember Rap hesitated, his fiery aura flickering. Something was wrong. Anonimiz lifted his head, his eyes glowing with a new intensity. His snake chi began to twist, his aura changing shape, the greenish-blue outline growing sharper, heavier, as if something deeper within it coiled tighter, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. A second pulse shook the air. Anonimiz stood, and his aura exploded. A new form took hold. His snake venom form had evolved, the venom thickening, darkening, becoming something more refined, more lethal. His breathing steadied. His vision cleared. He could see the energy, the way it moved, the way it pulsed in Dark Ember Rap's flames. And for the first time in the fight, he saw the weakness in it. Dark Ember Rap. What the hell did you just do? Anonimiz rolled his shoulders, his new energy humming through his veins like liquid lightning. Anonimiz evolved. He vanished, reappearing behind Dark Ember Rap before he even realized he had moved. A single strike, precise, venom-infused, hit the center of Dark Ember Rap's spine. The flames shattered. The evil Rap family warriors staggered, their newfound chi disrupting, faltering, as if the link had been severed. Dark Ember Rap stumbled forward, coughing, his body failing to react to his own energy. Anonimiz exhaled. The second form had saved him, but he knew this was just the beginning. The real war was far from over. The wind howled through the broken alleyways of the city, brushing against the scorched pavement where Dark Ember Rap had fallen. The flames that once danced in the streets were now snuffed, flickering remnants of a power too corrupted to sustain itself under Anonimiz Cherry's evolved strike. But victory didn't feel like celebration. Anonimiz stood still, his newly awakened form flickering around him like a second skin of venom and spirit, his greenish-blue aura now laced with black threads that pulsed in sync with his heartbeat. It felt heavier than his first form, more focused, more dangerous, more draining. His chest rose and fell, sweat dripping down his face, steam rising from his body as his energy settled. Anonimiz, what is this form? The venom didn't feel like destruction anymore. It felt like judgment, an ability to pierce through illusions, corruption, and instability. A poison that didn't just attack, it exposed. From behind a cracked wall, members of the Rap tribe began arriving. Balance Rap, Fury Rap, and Earth Angel Goddess Alicia Rap. They had felt the shift in the city's chi the moment Anonimiz evolved. Balance Rap stepped forward, his eyes locked on the twitching body of Dark Ember Rap. Balance Rap, he elevated them, temporarily. But your strike cut through more than flesh. You severed their tether to that new chi source. For now. Anonimiz, for now? Earth Angel Goddess. Alicia Rap stepped beside him. Earth Angel Goddess. Alicia Rap. The corruption isn't gone. You disrupted it, but it's still pulsing beneath the surface, feeding on resentment, on those who are still choosing not to heal. Anonymiz's jaw clenched. The new form had come at the edge of death. If he hadn't evolved, he would have died. He'd never felt the threshold of defeat so closely. Night had fallen over the city. In the meditation grove, the divine chakra, Tati rivers glowed softly, reflecting the lights of the stars above. Anonymous sat by the river's edge, his hands resting on his knees, breath slowing, pulse syncing with the current. But this time, something was different. The time chamber's entrance began to glow again, not from his own need, but from the divine recognition of imbalance. He looked up. The chamber was calling him again. Anonymous, already? A familiar voice echoed in his mind. Papa Legba Rap, Papa Legba Rap. The more power you awaken, the deeper the toxins you must extract. New forms come with new shadows. If you don't cleanse it now, the venom will turn on you. Anonymous closed his eyes, feeling the weight of his second form already beginning to slow his movements. His body was strong, but his spirit was lagging behind. He stood. Anonymous, time to go deeper. Far beneath the city streets, where the light couldn't reach, Twilight Zone Rap stood before a cracked obsidian mirror, watching the replay of Anonymiz's second form strike. Dark Ember Rap lay nearby, recovering his energy in chaos. Twilight Zone's eyes glowed with unnatural static, his voice soft but biting. Twilight Zone Rap, he's evolving too quickly, faster than the plan allowed. Behind him, another shadow stepped forward. A new figure barely formed, a ripple of dark energy shaped like a man. Shadowed figure. Should we accelerate? Twilight Zone Rap smirked. Twilight Zone Rap? No. Let him rise. Let him evolve. The higher he climbs, the harder he'll fall when he sees what we've done to the next chakra. The obsidian mirror twisted, revealing a corrupted chakra symbol. The second chakra, glowing blood red and black, pulsing like a warning. Twilight Zone Rap. His real test is just beginning. The time chamber pulsed with divine pressure as Anonimiz Cherry stepped inside once more, his body already bearing the weight of the second snake chi form. His aura, greenish blue lined with black venomous threads, flickered with hesitation and hunger, as if the very energy within him were questioning itself. He took a breath and closed his eyes. 1 minute in the outside world, 10 years in here. He had entered the chamber to heal, but he would not be spared a trial. As soon as he released his breath, the white space twisted and shifted. The environment transformed into a glowing, surreal landscape of deep orange skies, swirling red clouds, and rivers of liquid fire winding through a dreamlike forest of sensual, haunting beauty. He had entered the domain of the second chakra, Svadhisthana, the sacral chakra, the center of emotion, creativity, pleasure, and desire. In the center of a clearing stood a large, reflective pool. The surface shimmered like glass, untouched by the wind. Anonymous approached cautiously. The second chakra energy surged the closer he got, urges rising, memories flashing, his past relationships, the desire to belong, the ache for comfort, touch, validation, the wish for what could have been. The water rippled, and from it rose a version of himself, not twisted or shadowed, like the rage and fear from the first chakra. No, this version looked peaceful, happy, complete, clothed in luxury, surrounded by lovers, acclaimed, admired, worshipped, This version smiled. Mirror Anonymous. Isn't this what you wanted? To be seen, loved, celebrated for everything you are without having to fight anymore? Anonymous flinched. His second form pulsed. This trial wasn't physical. It was emotional, psychological. The desire to stop struggling. The desire to feel good, to rest, to stay in the fantasy. Mirror Anonymous. You earned this. Why keep fighting? The Rap Tribe has others. Goku Rap, Zay the Realtor, even Spectator Rap. Let them deal with Twilight Zone. Stay here, heal, be whole. Anonymized's fists tightened. He could feel the grip of desire, not lust, not greed, but comfort. The kind that makes warriors forget what they were fighting for. He stared into the reflection. The false version of himself smiled back. Anonymized. You look real, but you ain't forged. And with that, he clenched his right hand and struck the reflection with venom-infused chi, shattering the pool's surface and causing the illusion to scream in silence, dissolving into the fire-lit mist. The sky cracked open. A massive serpent made of orange and violet fire descended from above, wrapping around the shattered remains of the pool, its gaze fixed directly on Anonymous. Its hiss was not threatening, but knowing. Serpent, you resisted the false form of comfort, but can you channel desire without becoming enslaved to it? The second chakra didn't want him to kill desire. It wanted him to master it, channel it, control it, direct it. Anonymous fell to one knee, placing his hands on the ground, letting the venom pulse through his body, not as a weapon, but as a creative current. His aura shifted. The black threads began to shimmer orange. His chi danced, not in rage, but in harmony. His snake chi form 2 wasn't just reactive anymore. It was responsive, able to shift based on intention. His strikes would now have adaptive venom effects depending on his emotional state. With the sacral chakra unlocked, he could now balance desire and discipline, using what once distracted him to fuel new strength. The serpent vanished into his aura. The environment melted away. The time chamber dimmed. Twilight Zone Rap grinned, watching the spiritual signal from the chamber spike. Shadow figure. He passed the second chakra faster than expected. Twilight Zone Rap. Let him. He's still climbing. That just means when he falls, he raised his hand, summoning a new form of energy. A warped, toxic orange glow wrapped around black static. Twilight Zone Rap will already have corrupted the next chakra he's about to reach. He looked to the void beyond. Twilight Zone Rap. Let's see how he handles the Manipura. Let's see how he handles power.